is our next poet. A what do you call yourself at Jubilee?
I don't know.
A celebratory angel being, a leader of wild, mad mysticism, a opener of gates, and a lover of community, a joyful spirit, and a wonderful poet, and a wonderful friend. Joslin, come on.
So it doesn't take a lot of convincing. I think we can all pretty much agree. Things are just obviously a little crazy right now in the world and in Asheville. Every day we wake up and we think, okay, so what's going to happen next? You just step outside our Asheville streets and we just sense insanity and we just think, you know, who gave them the right, like the audacity of lilacs? What? Lilacs? Who said lilacs can be so intoxicating? And like birds, you know, chirping and flying and singing. What the hell? And freaking moonlight coming through your window. No wonder people have issues. Like, why even bother working? Rivers and salamanders, please. Everyone just needs to calm down. Take deep breaths and deal. Like, just use your coping skills and be patient. It's just one little blank in the space-time continuum. We're gonna be okay. So, all right. That's all I was going to do to introduce everything. So I've just got a little bit of narrative and a couple poems. I'm going to tell you about my first hermit crab. I named my first hermit crab Hermes, like any sensible 10-year-old would do. Endow a bewildered captive crustacean with the powers of the Hellenistic fleet-footed messenger god. So while he seemed kind of detached from Mount Olympus, my teeming pride could not be withheld as I told 5th grade about my hermit crab, Hermes. By day's end, the message was out that I had herpes. Now, I had not yet kissed boys, girls, or crustaceans. Along with everything else in pubescence, I also had featured this growth spurt in attempted sophistication. But Hermes, really, the gods were like, kid, you're in Jehovah country. And also, Hermes is retired. He's got collapsed arches, but we'll pass along the admiration. The crab did what any sensible novelty item marketed to lonely introverts like me would do. It fucking died. Its native habitat is not some only kid's room fraught with the dangers of pheromone tornadoes and angst-powered hairspray flamethrowers. Some of you pyros know what I'm talking about. The guilt overtook me. I killed a god, probably by neglect. My young mind then set about wondering what relationships might be like. So, you know, I'm one of those people, right, who finds meaning in everything. So the short biography of the sea-shelled son of Zeus was taken as a portent from on high, that my life and that critter would be intertwined forevermore. Thankfully, symbolism doesn't change my history. I incarnated independent of a sale from some gaudy beachside souvenir shop. I've existed free of cages and gawking kids. I do, however, inhabit my own little hermit ecosystem, strewn willy-nilly with little jazzy fascinations. I scamper along the tides of time, which will eventually pull me back in, with or without the farewell and fanfare of a pet's burial. My outer beingness has changed many times, so out of need, like a humble hermit crab, I look for shells. Now, for clarity, I don't literally scavenge the shells of dead friends. But sometimes these shells are too elaborate or too big to carry. Yet always, it's a spiral I curl into, hiding shyly, though everyone knows how to get me out. Not with powdered shrimp. It's something about purpose. Though it escapes me, the universe certainly recorded somewhere the exact circumstances around my first vow to become a real messenger. I would like to think it was a magical forest moment, though realistically I was probably reading Annie Dillard on the John. Regardless, a messenger strives against becoming absorbed by the message. It's being a funnel versus a sponge. The mythic messengers such as Hermes, Agni, Zakar, Usumu, Hermokar, and Garuda, right here, my homeboy, followed orders from the mystery to deliver a message, yet they became deified or historical anecdotes, and their messages became lost. I honor them. So in my strange little house, in strange little hours using our imprecise language, I strive to scribble just one message that someday may surpass my name, a message that will fly the route of a homing pigeon, which coos upon landing, my job is done here. Whatever that message is, I'll give credit to where credit is due. To my first and greatest miscommunication, PR fiasco, an intense desire to correct the record. His name is Hermes. All right, so poetry can be a little vulnerable, and I'm very grateful that one of my friends who's here helped me test this one. I work with men who struggle sometimes with expressing emotions, and this poem is related to that. I feel, I am. I feel is still legal. I feel is streaming live. I feel is factual. Disprove it. I feel is not opposed to logic. I feel is worldly, but made by me. I feel is not strategy or diplomacy. I feel is safe until you skip the directions. I feel is my inmost temple. It is my truth. I feel is shareable by previous written consent. I feel is a weather report, how encounters transform me. I feel is my origin story in the tidal pools, swamps, firelit caves. I feel is not your scapegoat, shall not be moved like a tree standing by the water. I feel is workplace inappropriate, not checked by a focus group, and dances naked in the streets. I feel is what we cling to at night, stares back from the mirror, never the same face of the blue morning. I feel is the river of my life's language. Under the moon's sway, its ebb and flow is my drought, and maybe your flood. I feel is ethereal calligraphy. I can't read it yet. I pass a yellowed note called legacy. It outlives me in you. I feel is an awkward wallflower and a lustful weed that cracks through cement and uprising. I feel is a journey that took too long for me to begin. Call it foolhardy. I can't stop now. I feel is frequently dizzy. It needs to find steady ground from all the head spinning. I feel is the teaser trailer of the upcoming untelevised revolution. I feel is measured in units stretching from my heart to the sun. I feel is not void where prohibited, subject to change with me. I feel is not my free pass, hopes you get my awkwardness. I feel is no greater, but your call is very important. I feel is completed by affirming you are. I feel is my receipt for existing in 2017. I feel is holy and profane scripture. I feel is able to equal, I think. I feel is now. It might be. I feel you. I feel you.
All right. Yeah.
Piece only came about because I was kind of forced to write it, and that was a real gift when you're asked to do something. Hey buddy, hey bro, are you man enough? Well, there's a box to check, M or F, the crossing of chromosomes X and Y, and of my time here. How do you measure that? All those rites of passage and the wrongs left behind. Categorically, I am male, Caucasian, American by persuasion, though I prefer Earthling. Being this human, I've had many shapes. Tadpoles, black holes, bottle rockets, holes in pockets, bird feather and turbulent weather, purple flowers and passionate hours. What makes me man enough? The answer, I think, is something more in the soul's eye and in the mind's dreaming than in a banner star spangling or whatever's anatomically dangling. It's your own meaning, your own rebirth hanging. Check it. My feet are tree roots that pulse to the heart of the mother's drum. My guts are clusters of garnets and rubies. My lungs are the sails of ancient ships that ply ancient deep waters. My head is in the stars from whence it came. We all dream galactic. We're all sane. Listen, men, women, trans, genderqueer. Now is time to break duality. We will overtake fear. Conceal not your body by a shroud of should be. Be unbound. Fly the sky infinite beyond the what, where, and why of the ordinary to classify. To claim your power to say that spirit is the gender that I identify. Listen. Receive these words as an invitation and exhalation. Spirit is the gender that I identify. Find a box to check for that.
Yeah.